You're probably asking yourself right now, where is all the documentation for Xcode and for programming and developing iPhone and iPad apps? Like many developers, you may find yourself wanting to dig deeper when it comes to a particular bit of code. But that's when you'll really appreciate Xcode's quick help, the documentation pane in the organizer window, the help menu, and the find tools. With these tools, you can quickly access the documentation for a particular class, method, or property. To see how this works, say that you have selected Hello World App Delegate H in the Project Navigator to display its code. The Quick Help section of the utility pane provides documentation for a single symbol or a language keyword. To see the utility pane, click the rightmost View Selector button in the top right corner of the workspace window here. Now, in the editor, we can click anywhere in the symbol or select the entire symbol, in this case, UI Application Delegate, here. So we just clicked inside the symbol word. To see Quick Help, we click the Quick Help button in the Utility Area Selector button. Here we see Quick Help for the UI Application Delegate Protocol, which declares methods that are implemented by the delegate of the Singleton UI Application Object. We see a description of the protocol. We see where it's declared in the header file for UI application. And we see a reference to the iOS library reference. If we click on this reference, we go right to the documentation pane of the organizer window. In particular, we go right to the definition of the UI Application Delegate Protocol reference. The documentation pane lets you browse and search items that are part of the Apple Developer Connection Reference Library, which is a collection of developer documentation and tech notes. If you click on the I, you see a navigator for the library, the Xcode 4 Developer Library and the iOS Reference Library. Using the documentation pane, you can browse and search the iAd, iOS, Mac OS X, and Xcode library reference guides. It's the go-to place for getting documentation about a method or protocol or more information about methods and properties or frameworks. And in addition, the Help menu offers a search field which lets you search Xcode help, the Xcode user's guide, and documentation and API reference, all of which open in the documentation pane of the organizer window. For example, the Xcode user's guide appears as we saw earlier. Now let's close the organizer window and go back to the workspace window. Xcode can also help you find things in your own project and in specific code files. For example, I select myViewController.m and then press Command F. That brings up a Find toolbar above the Edit pane. If I type View did load, actually View did, and it found View did load quickly. And if there were more instances of the found word, I could jump from one to the next by typing Command G. To close the Find toolbar, click Done. You can also use Find to go through your entire project by choosing Edit, Find, Find in Workspace. Or you can click the Search Navigator above the Project Navigator to show the Search Navigator view. I could then type a term in the search field, such as myViewController, press Return, and all instances of myViewController in the project appear underneath. And I can go directly to where the search term appears in a file by clicking on one of these entries in the Search Navigator, such as here, or in this file here, or in this file here. The file appears in the editor pane on the right, open to the location where the search term appears.